Welcome online, everybody, to tonight's Max International presentation. And as the screen says, your body's about to throw a party and every cell is invited. What I love about this amazing technology is it makes the world a smaller place. So what I'm going to do for you right now is I'm actually going to get everybody to type in exactly where you're logging in from. And this is always fun because it shows how the world is such a small place. So what do we got? We got Caloundra, Rockingham in WA, Malvern in Victoria, Gold Coast, Daisy Hill, Queensland. I can't read this fast. Gold Coast, Tamborine, Makati City. My God, it's going so fast. I will never keep up with this one. A lot of people online today. Actually, we've just about maxed out the webcast room. There's 90 seats in the room, and there's 100 seats in the room. There's 90 people in here. So you can see there's people from all over the place, Australia, and even overseas as well. So it's all good. Tonight, my job is to be one of your presenters, but I'd like to kick off first just by introducing you to who your primary speakers will be. This is me, side of my head. Got to get a photo from the front one day. Michael Firth. Marcus will introduce me a little bit later on in the presentation, but the person who's kicking off the presentation tonight is Marcus Schubitz. And if you don't know Marcus, let me give you a bit of background. Marcus hasn't really had to hold the job down very long in his life. He retired from the network marketing industry in his younger years, and as a result of his success with Max International, he's on the Australian Advisory Council and is what they call a Platinum Associate, which is basically a six-figure income with some, not what I would call full-time, more like part-time hours in a business.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Michael, and welcome online, everybody, or if you're listening to this recorded presentation, welcome to Max International. We have officially just maxed out the capacity of the webcast room at 100, so congratulations, everybody. And I am here to tell you about a company called Max International, and you may be here because of a number of different ways. First of all, you may be here because you've attended one of our sports nutrition nights, and now you're coming to have a little bit more of a look at what Max is all about. Perhaps you've attended a skincare showcase and you're coming to have a look at the nutritional side of our business. Maybe you've tried our product and now you're looking into the business side of Max. But tonight is a Max business overview. So tonight we're going to go through the key aspects of this company, the product, the science behind it, and how we make money with the business. But Max really is the perfect storm. And the analogy I'm going to use tonight is, can you imagine if you saw lightning strike in one particular place, and then you saw it strike in that same place over and over and over again, and you'll be thinking, my goodness, what the heck is going on over here? I need to take a look. So that is exactly what's happened with Max International. Starting out with our founders of this company, the first lightning strike was bang. Stephen K. Scott, the co-founder of American Telecast with $2.5 billion of sales to his name. He's the guy behind the Total Gym with Chuck Norris and Christy Brinkley. That's an infomercial company. Type in yes if you've ever seen or heard of the Total Gym on TV. Stephen K. Scott is also the best-selling author of over a dozen books around the world. He partnered up with his #1 competition in the infomercial industry, which was Bill Guthrie and Greg Renker. Now, I think that's a stroke of genius. These guys run a company called Guthrie Renker, the largest infomercial company in the world. That's the company behind products like Zumba, Get the Edge with Tony Robbins, Proactive Solution. I'm sure you've heard of those. So these guys have a business which now does over $1.8 billion a year in over 100 countries around the world. So these guys partnered up to launch a single company with a single product. So that was the first lightning strike. The second thing that's happened just recently, bang, Greg Norman, as you guys know, was world #1 golfer for 6 years running, has actually become the #1 associate for Max International. Him and a consortium of people have come involved because they see Max as a young company. We've got a breakthrough product range and we are going global. We are also attracting people from all walks of life, but we're talking about pro athletes as well. Bang, this is what we saw with our products. This is the third lightning strike. Pro athletes dominating on Max. Not too long ago, Evander Holyfield, at 47 years old, came out of retirement to win his 5th world title as heavyweight champion. Maria Zanandria, she's a Olympic high jump coach. She's seeing tremendous results personally, but also with her athletes. Bill Gillespie, at 49 years old, broke 4 world records in the powerlifting arena. Here in Australia, Barry Michael, former world champion, is seeing phenomenal results, not just personally, but other boxers and pro athletes is getting onto the product. Bobby Wilson, he was the first guy to compete in all three divisions of the World Long Drive Championship, and he won 2 of them. So that was the third lightning strike. So why are we seeing such phenomenal results with this product? The reason is we have a product which is addressing every single cell in the human body. There's anywhere from 50 to 100 trillion cells, and our body's creating around 40 billion new cells every single day. And every one of those cells needs something called glutathione. Now, I'd never heard about glutathione before I come across Max, so I want to give you some key facts so you understand the significance of what this product is doing for every single cell in the body. First of all, it's the world's most powerful antioxidant. It's inside every single cell of your body, and it's thousands of times more powerful than vitamin C. Now, we know there's 40,000 articles on vitamin C out there, but there is actually double, more than double, over 90,000 scientific articles on glutathione. One of the challenges is that our glutathione levels are dropping, and they're dropping fast, and that is evidenced in the fact that there are now 74 major diseases that are all associated with low levels of glutathione. So there's a mountain of research out there talking about how powerful glutathione is, and a number of reasons that we can look at here as to why our glutathione levels are dropping. And a lot of these things are really unavoidable. Starting out with aging, of course, we actually drop about 10 to 15% glutathione levels per decade as we age. Stress affects glutathione levels, inflammation, exposure to the sun. If you're an athlete, you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't need to worry about it. I'm fit, I'm healthy. Guess what? You lose 40% of your available glutathione in the first 10 minutes of aerobic exercise. What about sleep deprivation? Are you guys getting as much sleep as you would like? So many people out there are just not getting enough sleep. If you smoke, if you drink alcohol, that's absolutely punishing your glutathione levels. We're going to talk in a minute about environmental toxins that we cannot avoid. Belly fat. How many of us out there have got a little bit too much belly fat? Well, that's also affecting glutathione levels in our body. And finally, medications. If you're on any type of prescription medication, that will significantly affect your glutathione levels. So we cannot avoid a lot of this stuff. Glutathione is something which has more than one benefit to our cells. First of all, it is the only antioxidant that can neutralize all types of free radicals. It's also the only antioxidant that can recycle and recharge itself and other antioxidants as well. So that's number one. Secondly, is the primary detoxifier of the cell. Now, one of the challenges is that we don't sit there and go, well, I'm going to take in toxins every day on purpose. But you know what? We have over 80,000 chemicals that we cannot avoid in the air, food, and water that we ingest. So glutathione, or GSH for short, is a very powerful chelating agent which binds itself to heavy metals such as mercury, lead, cadmium, iron, and arsenic, and it enables these things to then be excreted from the body. So this is just, if that's the only thing you take our product for, to help your body eliminate these really toxic things that we have in our environment, absolutely go for it. Now, the final one is that glutathione is the protector of the immune cell. And you can see a little picture on the bottom right-hand side here. This is a diagram of an immune cell attacking a cancer cell. And you might say, well, okay, that's the immune system's job, which it is. Our immune cells are designed to protect us by attacking germs, viruses, and cancer cells. But you know what? What's protecting the immune cells? Well, glutathione. That's one of its primary functions. On top of that, glutathione protects the mitochondrial DNA and the nucleus of the cell, and that's where the energy, the ATP, is made. So the average person looks at this and say, wow, that looks impressive, Marcus, but you know, what's the generic benefits? What are the benefits that the average person can expect to see if they can raise their glutathione levels? Well, let's run through them. First of all, increased energy. Also strengthens the immune system, reduces inflammation, improves mental focus and clarity, detoxifies the liver and also every cell of the body. I mean, how many people need that? Reduces the effects of stress, improves the quality of REM sleep, athletic performance and recovery, like we covered before. So all of these things are things that we typically start hearing back from people, sometimes within days of taking the product we're about to talk about tonight. Now, there's a very well-known doctor, Dr. Don Colbert. I want to give you a bit of his background and then let you know what he said about this product, because it's absolutely staggering. Dr. Don Colbert, he's board certified in family practice and anti-aging medicine. He's a New York Times bestseller with over 10 million books sold worldwide, medical director of 2 international medical centers. He's treated over 50,000 patients. He's an international expert and speaker on integrative medicine. He's on the medical advisory board for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He's been featured on Fox News, ABC World News, BBC, Reader's Digest, Newsweek, and Christian television programs, and also has his very own radio station, which is syndicated right throughout the US, called Dr. Colbert's Health Report. He has recently volunteered to sit on the Max Medical Advisory Council, and he's just released a new edition of his best-selling book, Toxic Relief, and he has dedicated an entire chapter to Max products because he believes them to be the best products on the market to help our bodies increase glutathione levels. In fact, he knew about the power of glutathione when he started to use it intravenously, and he saw that it affected in a positive way every single one of his patients who had a chronic condition. And he looked at the fact, and he knew that your body couldn't absorb glutathione. He knew that it got destroyed in the stomach, and he also knew it was too large to penetrate the cell wall. So taking glutathione was absolutely useless. And that's why Dr. Colbert turned to intravenous glutathione. But he said, you know, it takes it costs about $100 a shot. You have to have it about 3 times a week, so it's about $300 a week, $1,200 a month, and the benefits are short-lived. So he thought, my goodness, if we could only find a way to feed the body on a daily basis, things can elevate glutathione, it would be absolutely mind-blowing. So he realized that there was things on the market, and he started to look at what could achieve these benefits. He said, well, you could actually do like the people in Denmark and swim in ice-cold water for 20 or 30 minutes a day, and that can raise levels by 20 to 25%. You could take undenatured whey protein. That's been shown to raise glutathione levels up to 35%. Lipoic acid, 30 to 35%. Milk thistle, 35%. SAMe, 50%. And N-acetylcysteine had been shown to raise glutathione levels up to 85% if you could deliver it in the right way. Then he came across Max International. Bang, the 5th lightning strike. Max GXL hit the market, sent shockwaves around the world when it was shown in double-blind clinical studies to increase glutathione levels by 276%. So he started getting it to his patients. You know, they would come into his clinic, and his staff would say, listen, Dr. Colbert is booked out for 3 to 4 months, but he's told you need to get onto this product to start detoxifying your body to reduce inflammation. And a lot of these patients started calling in after a little period of time saying, hey, I feel so good, I don't even need to see Dr. Colbert anymore. And he was looking at a scientifically proven formula with Max GXL. This is a product that in a double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover clinical study showed that in healthy people after only 60 days, a massive 276% increase of intracellular glutathione. So this isn't just measuring the blood. That's pretty useless. That's not real time. This is measured in the lymphocytes. This is inside the cells. On top of that, there was a dramatic increase in DHEA and IGF-1, which are markers for adrenal function and human growth hormone. And this is the last one, which is really important, that we saw a significant 61% decrease in tumor necrosis factor alpha, which is a marker for cellular inflammation. And all wellness doctors and scientists will tell you that inflammation at the cellular level is the root cause of almost every disease and health challenge known to man. Now, if you want to look at the full clinical study, you can go and look at it on extramaxinfo.com. All right, but these are the findings of this study. So we come out of that, we have now worldwide sport certifications. In fact, the product we have, Max GXL Sport, is certified by the National Sanitation Foundation, which is who WADA default to make sure that, number one, there are no banned substances in our products, and number two, they are manufactured in a facility which is absolutely ironclad guaranteed to have no contamination during the manufacturing process. So that's why we have world athletes breaking world records, professional athletes just using this product, getting tested, and absolutely no problems whatsoever. Bang, the 6th lightning strike. Dr. Nagasawa, the world-leading authority on glutathione, sought out this company. He approached Max International and said, you know what, you guys are doing something that I believe is so important to the health of the world. this guy said, I have some research, I have some patents that I want to work with you guys to take to the world. And this guy, he's 82 years old now, for 32 years was the senior editor of the Journal of Medicinal Chemistry. He personally has 165 peer-reviewed articles. And as a side note, was the creator of the 3-minute cyanide solution for the US military. This guy's an absolute genius. And the reason this guy is important is because a compound that he put together is now in our brand new product that we're about to talk about. Ribosine is exclusive to Max International. It's got 25 years of research behind it, 24 patents, 20 peer-reviewed studies, all paid for by the National Institutes of Health. I mean, that is the definition of peer-reviewed. This is the most advanced glutathione technology available today, and as mentioned, it is exclusive to Max International. We own these patents and that technology. It's gone into another glutathione breakthrough called Celgevity, just released in the world, and it contains Dr. Nagasawa's ingredient ribosine, which was shown to outperform all other glutathione enhancers by at least 300% in these peer-reviewed studies. On top of that, there's a host of ingredients in here that you could launch entire products and companies on. And you know what? The best thing I can say about Celgevity is really encapsulated by this sentence from Dr. Don Colbert. And I quote, Dr. Colbert says, we now have, I believe, the best antioxidant, the best anti-inflammatory, the best detoxifier, and the best anti-aging supplement there is out there. This product, I tell you what, under live blood analysis, showed fast results. Now, this is just to give you a bit of an idea. If you look at blood under a microscope, this is how healthy blood should look. The cells should be well evenly spread. You can see they're nice and round and pout. Unhealthy blood will look like it's all clustered up, a little bit cloudy. Well, we took a guy in Canada. We won't tell you his full name. Let's just call him Scott. And Scott was a bit of a health nut. He was one of these guys that did everything right, didn't drink, didn't smoke, lived on the side of a mountain, ate organic food. I mean, this guy, I'm not sure how excited you would be to hang out with, but I tell you what, he was doing everything right. So his before blood analysis was fantastic. I mean, have a look at it. But have a look at this. This is his blood 15 minutes after taking Celgevity. That is absolutely extraordinary. So to become a preferred customer, to get this product direct from the company is easy. It's free to join. To be a customer, you can buy your products online. You get them at wholesale price. Now, the Celgevity is going to be landed at your door for about 115 Australian dollars, or you can choose to take the Max Challenge, and that is to trial the product for 90 days, and you'll get it even cheaper for about $90 a month. It'll be lobbed at your door. You can set and forget an auto ship, so it just comes every month without you having to think about it. After that 90-day challenge, you can cancel at any time without penalty. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee on the product, and we also have a referral program for our customers where if you bring in 3 other customers, you can get your products for free. So talk to the person who's invited you on about that. So to hear more about people who are getting incredible results on this product, I want to hand the webcast over to Mr. Tyron Mangakahia.
Thanks, Marcus. Hi, everyone. Yes, my name is Tyron Mangakahia. It's great to see so many people on the webcast tonight. You know, I've been around nutrition and supplements all my life. I represented Australia in the first World Cup in Taekwondo in the US, and I've owned fitness centers. I have to say that when I was introduced to the Max product in 2008, I was cynical, to say the least. After seeing how it changed the quality of my father's life and so many people since, I'm absolutely honored to be able to represent such an ethical product and company. I've been in law enforcement and corporate security now for more than 25 years, but until I found Max International, I honestly couldn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You know, in just 3 years, we have hit the level of gold associate within the company and are knocking on the door of platinum. What this means for me personally is not only financial freedom, but also the freedom to spend quality time with my family. Thank you for having me on, and it's now my great pleasure to introduce a sporting icon and the legendary Mr. Barry Michael.
Hi everyone, I'm Barry Michael, former world boxing champion. Just going to tell you my story about my results with products from Max International. Around about 8 months ago, I was reading the World of Boxing magazine, and in there I noticed stories about the great Evander Holyfield, and other boxers that were taking product that enhanced the glutathione in their cells. Did a bit of research on glutathione and then contacted Ray Wheatley, the owner and editor of World of Boxing, and Ray put me in contact with another guy, Arthur Stanley. So I consequently got on the product within the first 5 or 6 days, and I still train. I'm nearly 57 in June. I still manage to train 3 or 4 days a week. It's getting tougher and tougher, but after the first training session I did some weights, and about day 5 and the next day I thought to myself, my God, I've got no soreness. And that was the first thing I noticed, increased recovery. I noticed I had better sleep, a much deeper sleep, and a gradual increasing mental clarity. Since then I've introduced quite a few of my boxers onto the product. I've had amazing results in improved performance and recovery. You know, got boxers like Sam Simon, he swears by the product. Eurus Gamboa, ex-Olympic gold medalist and current professional world champion. He's another one who says that he can't live without the product, trains twice a day and cuts his food intake and still performs at the same level or better. I'm a father too, my 88-year-old father. I got him on the product, and you know, Dad just can't believe how much better he's feeling. He's feeling like a younger man, and now he wants to take it into the retirement village, which is fantastic. Max GXL Sport and Max GXL were the products I was on. We've got a new product out now called Cellgevity, but these products are unbelievable, groundbreaking, so get on them. They are unbelievable. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Alan Hewitt, and when I was at school one day when I was 14, I got very sick with nausea and a terrible pain in my head, and I basically thought I was going to die. But I went to the doctor, who said it was a migraine and gave me some painkillers which made no difference. When I got home, my mum explained that she had suffered from migraines since my age too. I went on to suffer for the next 32 years, taking medication, practicing meditation, avoiding triggers, but always living on the edge. Then a year ago, Helen Belcher sent me some Max to try. I didn't notice much at all for the first couple of weeks. But then into the second month, I started to notice that I was still getting visual disturbances, but no pain. By month 3, I wasn't getting either, and I haven't had a migraine since. I was so impressed with these results that I have no hesitation in offering the Max products to the thousands of my clients all around Australia who are interested in health and well-being. So over the last 12 months or so, we've now developed a business where several hundred of my clients are getting their products every month, and it's been an absolute pleasure because the feedback we get almost every day is that they are also getting life-changing results. Plus, it has also added a very important and growing income stream to my business.
Thanks very much, Alan. My name's Helen MacDonald. So a little bit about my background. I'm a professional speaker, trainer and coach, and a thought leaders mentor, and I get paid pretty well for doing that, and I love that work. The sad part is that if I don't work, I don't get paid. So for a number of years, my husband and I were looking for other ways to create residual income, and Lachlan and I looked at another business plan and worked very, very hard on that for a number of years before we were introduced to Max via Michael Firth, for which we are very grateful. And Michael and I met through the speaking industry, and he realised what I was trying to do. So we loved the product, got great results on the product, particularly from a muscle recovery and athletic part of the world. But the thing that we were probably the most excited about it was that in the 3rd month on working on our Max business, we got a larger check than in 3 years working on our previous business and working a lot harder. The Max system is simpler. It's simply karaoke, follow the bouncing ball, work with your coach, and you'll get a fantastic result. So I will now like to hand over to someone who I know got an amazing result in their life from the product.
I'm Corey Castle. I was a brick paver, involved in the building industry before I was a victim of a high-speed car accident, which left me numb on my left side and frontal lobe damage with debilitating headaches. I was on handfuls of anti-inflammatories and morphine-based painkillers, and that was daily for 5 years until a friend introduced me to Max. And within 1 week of being on Max, I was freed up of all anti-inflammatory tablets, and within 1 month, I did not have to take one more morphine-based painkiller. I've been working on the business since February, and I've now replaced my disability income with a full-time income with part-time hours. Thanks, Max International.
Hello everybody, this is Phoebe calling in from Perth, and my background is I have worked as a registered nurse midwife for over 30 years now, and I absolutely love what I do. But the downsides are the lack of recognition, the lack of financial reward, and the lack of respect for the incredible amount of responsibility we have. So that disillusioned me quite a lot. Then along came Max, very attractive as a business opportunity because there's an amazing product that's scientifically validated and new to the market. We also have world-renowned owners that are known by everybody and a fantastic first-class support team. An attraction from the business point of view was the low startup costs, with absolutely no risks to my career income or the investment I made in Max. And in just over 3 years, in 10 to 15 hours a week, I've been able to build a six-figure income. In fact, when I qualified at the platinum level, my first check for the month was in excess of $8,700. I still work part-time as a midwife because I love it and I choose to do that. But I would strongly encourage anybody, regardless of their background, to seriously consider Max International as a career option.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks everybody for sharing those stories on the product and the business. I've got to say, after 4 years, I've seen that many people get that many different results on the product, and I've come to a conclusion there is only one condition this product does not help you with, and that's people who have a closed mind, or I like to call it, duh. I mean, if you see this information and you don't want to get on the product, that's probably the noise that's coming out of your mouth. I'm going to hand over to my best mate. He was my #1 guinea pig. He was the first guy I gave this product to. He rang me the next day and said, man, is this stuff legal? Michael Firth at the time was the national sales coach for the largest mortgage broking aggregator in Australia. So his job was to train a couple of thousand mortgage brokers throughout Australia and New Zealand. And I won't tell too much more of his story, but Michael's had a phenomenal degree of success in this Max business. He is now earning a six-figure income from the business, and he's also on the Australian Advisory Board. So Michael, I'll hand the webcast over to you.
Fantastic, Marcus. They were some amazing testimonials, weren't they? Both from a monetary point of view, which I'm going to go into now, as well as a health point of view. And as Marcus said, for me, it's been able to enable me to sack my boss. Actually, type in sack your boss if that's something that might turn you on. I loved what I did with a passion, but I have two beautiful kids that I wasn't spending enough time with, and I wanted to take more control of my time. And now I determine when I get on a plane, and I determine what I do for my life, and that was certainly something worth thinking about. So, sacking your boss. So there are 9 ways to earn leveraged income from this amazing program. For a full overview on the compensation plan, though, please go to maxpresentations.com. And that will give you a complete overview. My role today, though, is really just to give you a quick treetop to these subjects. So, number 1, retail profits. What does that mean? Well, there are some products you can retail from our business, but having said that, Max GXL is not for retail sale in Australia. So, if you heard what I said, please type yes, because it's very important you understand that. But can I tell you, having been a small business coach for many years, you ready for it? There's no money in retail. That's why they're going broke left, right and centre. Having said that, there's a great preferred customer commission program. In fact, Alan, who was on before, has said he has hundreds of preferred customers, and each one of those customers returns $20 individually. So hundreds equals, in his case, I think it's about $12,000 a month in preferred customer commission. So pretty cool. That means you don't have to handle any money, you don't have to handle any product. Pretty productive program. Also, most network marketing businesses or home-based businesses talk about generating income down the track, and I was rapt about that idea. In fact, 24 months into this program, I was able to, as I said, sack my boss. But I also wanted some instant cash flow. So type in cash if cash flow is important to you, because it's a fast-track commission program, which means you can earn income in your first week in the business. Now, that's important to understand. So if someone buys an initial sample pack of products, you'll get a bonus that can range from $75 to $150. In fact, at the moment, we have double fast-track commissions available depending on how you kick off your business, and we'll talk more about that later. So there's certainly some instant cash flow you can, if you're looking for it, you can get that. There's a thing called a global bonus pool, a max living bonus, a platinum diamond leadership bonuses. I personally am not going to spend much time with them tonight because I can tell you this. I was on a six-figure income, and I loved what I did, but when I heard number 8 and 9, they were enough, you ready? They were enough to replace entirely a six-figure income. So 5, 6, and 7 are just cream on the cake, okay? So number 8, let's kick off what that is. It's called the team volume commission. Now, what's the best form of advertising in the world? Type in your thoughts. Do you think it is TV, radio, word of mouth? Absolutely, you've got it in one. So you're going to, here's you, and you're through the best form of advertising on the planet, from a great product that you know works all the time, is you're going to build a business through word of mouth, and you're going to build two teams, one down the left and one down the right. In fact, if you have two people, you'd put them in the top left, top right position, and that's it. Now, you're probably wondering, if this product's so good, what if I have more than two people want to join? Simple. You put them in the next available positions down the left or the right team. In fact, there's no limitation on how many people you can invite to have a look at this and join. You can introduce as many people as you like. If you heard that one, type in yes. Because in my case, this product works so well, I've had over 60 people join. So you can continue to introduce as many as you like. So how does it work? Basically what happens is every product has what we call CV, or commissionable volume. So let's have a look right now. Cellgevity, for an example, 75 CV is a 1 month supply of Cellgevity, the product Mark has finished up talking about. And it doesn't matter whether I buy that in Australia, in Australian dollars, or whether I buy that in the Philippines for pesos. It'll have the same currency for the bonuses called CV. And if that makes sense, type in CV for me. So basically, as you can see, there's some other products with higher CVs in them. There's even a thing called a BPP. What's that? A Business Builders Pack. That's an initial sample pack of products. So how does it work? Basically what happens is the company says, we will total up all the turnover of your left and right teams, and you'll get paid from infinite depth. So let's take an example here. You can see here 700 CV purchase. That might be somebody who has just joined the business. They could be in, let's pick a place, Tasmania. They were introduced by somebody in New Zealand, who was introduced by somebody in the Philippines, who was introduced by somebody in Sydney, who was introduced by somebody in Perth, who was introduced by you in your lounge room. Now, every single person up that line will benefit from that purchase. So every single person up that line would benefit from that one-off purchase. If that makes sense, type yes. And that's from infinite depth. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means there's phenomenal potential for growth. So what happens is the company draws a dotted line down the middle, and they say, we'll pay you, we'll total up the total turnover of all the consumers in the left team, then all of the consumers in the right team, and we'll pay you 10% of the commissionable volume of your smaller team, or your pay leg. In this example, the left team is the pay leg, so you get $2,000 for the month. Pretty simple stuff. Now, it's interesting, at this point, I get pretty excited, because when I get to this point, this is what separates this from a conventional business. This bonus doesn't cap out till $25,000 a month, but here's the thing to pay attention to. You can go out there and start a normal business and, work hard, or harder than you did when you're working for a boss, or you can get into a business with leverage. Now, you know what? $25,000 a month. I was working alongside people in the top of the corporate world earning $25,000 a month, but I can tell you not one of them could put their hand on their heart and say they had lifestyle. In fact, most of them, their health was suffering, their kids hardly saw them, their relationships were suffering. So I actually interviewed and shook hands with people in Max that were earning $25,000 a month and more, and these people were working the same amount of hours as somebody earning $2,000. And that's what got me interested, because I didn't want to just get into something else with a high income. I wanted something with a high income and very low hours. So if that makes sense, type yes. So this has real leverage, and that was the appeal for me. Okay. So at some stage, though, in a presentation, we always know somebody somewhere in Australia has their broke brother-in-law, Skeeter, who gives them financial advice, logged on with them, and he goes, that looks like a pyramid to me. Now, if you've ever heard that before, type in yes, because I'd heard it, and everyone's got a broke brother-in-law. But having said that, it's not their fault. No one's ever explained them a difference. Now, we know that, Greg Norman wouldn't get involved in the pyramid. We know that Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, owns 3 network marketing companies. We know the banks put their products through network marketing companies. So we know the industry isn't in question. It's just that person's lack of understanding. So what I'm going to give you an example here. We've boosted your right volume to 85,000. We have your left team still at 20,000. So you get paid 10% of the smallest team. You still get 2,000. Now, in order to turn over 85,000 in the right team, you've probably introduced some good people. So let's say one of them was Bob here, and Bob has to build 2 teams like you do. So down his right team, he has, let's say, 42,000, and his left team, let's say 40,000. He would earn 10% of the smallest team, giving him 4,000 for the month. Now, your broke brother-in-law Skeeter scratches his head at this point and goes, hang on, pyramid, isn't the guy at the top earning the money? Well, that's the conventional corporate pyramid. But in this business, you can earn more money than the person above you. In fact, it has no relevance where you fit in. It's about the structure that you build. So if you think that's fairer, type in fair for me now, because for me, I can tell you that was much fairer than working in the corporate world or for a boss. And as you know, in fact, Bob might get to the 25 grand before you. Lots of fares, excellent. So there's another bonus that gives you more motivation to help people like Bob, and it's called the matching check bonus. On the left-hand side, we have a team structure, and on the right-hand side, we have an enroller tree. The enroller tree is what I'm going to use to show you how this bonus works. So as I said before, you introduce people in your left team, you introduce people in your right team. In fact, you can introduce as many as you like. The one down here, the one over here, they're all little brown dots represent the ones you had off your list of contacts somewhere in the world. Now let's use that one as an example, and we'll say that was, say, Bob. Now you notice Bob's not directly underneath you, he's further down the line. People who are familiar with the old-fashioned network marketing companies that have been around since I was a kid, they go, hang on, am I going to be disadvantaged by putting Bob further down one of the lines? And the answer is no. In fact, in the old-fashioned companies, yes, but in our program, no. In fact, it'll give you a great incentive to do that. It doesn't matter where Bob fits in or anyone you introduce fits in. No matter how far down the left or the right team, they'll all be considered first generation in the enroller tree, and you will get paid a 25 to 50% bonus matching check on whatever team Bob earns in his team volume commission for the month. So as an example, if Bob earned $10,000, you could earn $5,000. Does that make sense? If that does, type another yes. And I started to get really interested here because I could see leverage was starting to turn the heat up. But hey, here's the next exciting part. This is where I started to sit, right upright going, hang on. There's more money in this than there is being a CEO. So the next level down, let's say Bob introduced Mary. Now your broke brother-in-law Skeeter's going, hang on, you need to know thousands of people. And I say rubbish, because let's say you introduce Bob and Bob went out and introduced Mary. Well, Mary would be second generation to you, and you'll earn a 10% matching check on anyone in the second generation. That means if Mary earned $10,000, you could earn another $1,000. Now here's the interesting thing, that if Mary was to do that, what if Bob introduced 60 Marys or 100 Marys? You have no control over that. So if you understand now that it has no relevance how many people you know, but it's about the strength of a network and a network developing through others, please type yes. This is the most important point. If you get that, you really get excited. Now that's just 2 generations. Now I can tell you this bonus gets paid 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 generations, but I can tell you I was able to sack my boss when I got just to the 5th generation, because at that point it had hit a 6-figure point. So for most people, 6 and 7 will just be cream on the cake. That'll be the Bahamas money. So how do you get started? I'm sure you're wondering. Well, startup options are fantastic. There are 3 options there for you, and one overriding one, I suppose, which you'd all want to do. And, it makes me laugh. Having coached people in conventional business for many years, and I say, usually if they're buying a franchise, it might be $70,000 at risk. Here, you've got, what, $1,250 is a Premier Pack, the one at the top, with 15 bottles of Celgevity, stacks of samples to give out, and we know this product works for everybody we give it to, so you've got plenty of little soldiers out to build your business. $1,250, it's hilarious. And then a professional pack, which is for those people who may be still paying off Christmas. Then if that's you, $740 over there, you can get involved. Or a personal pack, which is really for you and your partner just to try the product if you want to dip a toe in the water and secure a spot, but you're not ready to going yet. And regardless of each of those, whichever one they are, we'd encourage you then to go on what we call the Max 90-Day Challenge, which is the loyalty program of purchasing that product for a minimum of 90 days. And because of that, you'll get a discount on the product. And there's also a fantastic interactive Facebook page we'll talk about in a minute that goes with that, where you can see fantastic results people are getting on this 90-day challenge. So what's the power of the Premier Pack? Well, basically, you get 15 bottles of Celgevity. What are you going to do with that? Well, there are 2 bottles for you to use, and then there are 13 bottles for you to build your business. Now, let's say you had 13 families that you put on Celgevity. That means, there's enough in there for at least 2 weeks for 2 people or 1 week for 4 people in a household. That means you've got 52 individual prospects that are taking the product. If you can't get 6 associates and 6 preferred customers out of that, I'll eat my hat. But $2,280 is what you would get back based on that minimum projection. And we know that at least half or more, conservatively speaking, of the people you give this product to are going to notice it within the week. So quite amazing. So your business is up and running, and if you duplicate, you can see where it keeps to going from there. So some people, we need to bring it down to the lowest common denominator. And what if you just got 2? So you enroll with the Premier Pack, okay, $1,250. You enroll 2 people in the first 30 days. Then you go on an automatic shipment of the product on the loyalty program. Basically, you help 2 people do the same. And you can see here, the income starts slowly, but starts to grow and grow and grow and grow. The reason we put this slide up is just so you can get that this is the projections on where the income would continue passively if it didn't grow beyond that point. And I might add, these figures here were based on earlier projections. Since the Cellgevity products come along, you can add 30% to those incomes. Wow. So we have amazing timing and positioning right now. We have explosive off-the-chart growth happening. You know, when you look at this presentation, we have what they call the concentration zone going right now. Max has only officially been running live in Australia for about 12 months. A few of us have been involved in the pre-launch a little longer than that. But you know what? You could run down the street. You could yell out Max. You could yell out Cellgevity. If you said Max, they'll think you lost your dog. If you said Cellgevity, they'll probably think you're a weirdo. But you know what? People haven't heard of it. Now, we're open in these countries, USA, Canada, Philippines, New Zealand, Australia and Singapore. We haven't opened up the majority of the world yet. So the opportunity now is to get involved and catch that wave. So do you have to what it takes to succeed? You know, it's like brain, you need to be a brain surgeon for this one, really hard. Do you think you could invite people online to see a presentation like this? Type in yes if you could. Pretty hard. Do you reckon you could introduce them on the phone to a business partner? You don't have to do the talking, just have someone who knows what they're talking about answer the questions. And then you reckon you get the product in your mouth and cash a check? If you could do that, that is how hard it gets. So in wrapping up the presentation tonight, I'd ask you this. Connect with the person who got you on this presentation, and if you get it, say lock me in. Why? You could end up right there, left or right team. Or you could be like one of my mates who left it a few days and he ended up down here, and then he was bitching and moaning that he missed out on this one and this one and this one. You know what? You have an opportunity. If you get it, jump in, boots and all. So tonight, as you've seen the presentation, if you get it and the person who invited you online, you want them to know that to get the first few spots, just type in A. That means absolutely you had me at hello. Or if you're a B, and that's okay. B is, look, I might be interested in the product of the business. Type that in and I'm sure they'll give you a free sample of the product. Lots of A's coming in today. Or if you're a C, and that means you just want to be a customer, that's okay too. We encourage everybody to better their health and type in a C if that's you. And certainly the person will show you how you can go out and get yourself signed up to get hold of the product as well. So finally, as I wrap up the presentation tonight, I want to encourage each and every one of you to get on the Max 90-Day Challenge. So if you need proof, go to www.themax90daychallenge.com. Make sure you put the in there. So www.themax90daychallenge.com. It'll send you straight to the brand new Facebook page, which has just been set up. In fact, just today, we uploaded a video that I did as an interview with the former world champion of boxing, Barry Michaels, where he talks about the results he got. And I'd encourage every one of you to like that page and also type up your feedback and your interactions as well. So guys, it's been a pleasure presenting tonight. Thanks, Marcus. Thanks to all the presenters. It was an awesome presentation, which will be great for one of our recordings. I look forward to seeing you on the next webcast.